Welcome to Central Texas. Welcome to Kids Community Connections, 103.1 Kids FM. I'm Phyllis Jones, your host for this morning. You know, often we hear a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, and they say one thing: there's nothing for kids in Killeen. I mean, I hear that so much until, you know, I'm gonna start today, and then I'm gonna do a couple of shows about what is in Killeen for children, because we always hear nothing for children, nothing for children. And you know what? When I look at the other side, they're actually, when I look at their picture of what other people hear, then they're right. Because what I'll say is we do a terrible job of getting the word out. We do. We do a bad job of getting the word out of all the things that are for children. But there's one program for kids that I like, because it's teaching them, I guess, the correct way to go. And as far as law enforcement and our laws and their rules that guide us and that we live by, you have a group of kids who decided that, you know what, I'm going to take that step, and I'm going to step up there, and I'm going to be a Killeen explorer. So good morning. How you doing?
Good morning.
Good, thank you.
So, okay, my first question is, what is a Killeen explorer?
These are young men and young ladies between the age of 14 and 21 that have the ambition to enter the law enforcement community. You know, we teach them basic law enforcement, and we get them involved in the community. That's how they pay. That's their pay. They give back to the community by volunteering their time and servicing or assisting with the department by getting involved in community activities.
What age, again?
14. They had to be graduated from the 8th grade.
Okay.
And so it's basically 9th through college.
Okay. All right. Okay. So some of what, and Lily.
Yes.
You serve as
I'm the captain over the police explorers, so I oversee about 30 explorers. So I've been in the program for about 4 years, going on 5. Sadly, this is my last year being the police explorers because I'm aging out this year. I turned 21, so they're kicking me out. We do that because at 21 you can be a police officer, so that's what I'm striving to do, is trying to join the police department. Of course, it's given me a good step in the door because I've been doing this for a long time, and I've been training with different police officers. And then we go to different competitions with other explorers, and we compete and do different law enforcement type activities. There's a lot of things that are involved in explorers that you can do. Like I've had a lot of scholarships so far from being in the program. I get a lot of my advisors, which are police officers and detectives. We used to have a latent print examiner, so I'm still in contact with them. So for different scholarships, I get them as my references, and they write letters to whoever I'm trying to get a scholarship from. I've had about $4,000 in scholarships so far, just from being in the Explorers program.
So Explorers program, what do you all do in the community?
So we do different events, like, for example, today we did the MLK parade. We were blocking off traffic. We did the Christmas parade. We were actually in the Christmas parade, first time being in that. And we had our little float, and they told everybody what the explorers were when we were going past. And we also do like fingerprinting for children at events, like at the HEB Feast of Sharing. We did the fingerprinting for little kids. It's for their parents to keep a hold of. They keep it somewhere safe, so that, God forbid, something was happening to their child, at least they have something that signifies who their child is. So we do different events like that, and we also go to we do National Night Out every year in October, and we go to nursing homes and just different events around the community.
If there was a child, and let's say they're 13, and they're looking to join the Explorers when they're 14, but they're questioning, yes, no, maybe so, what would you tell them?
Well, I would tell them just come on by. We have a meeting every Tuesday from 6 to 8 at the police department, 3304 Community Boulevard, and just sit in one of our meetings and see what we're about. That's what a lot of explorers do. And their parents are also welcome to sit in that meeting as well to see what we're about. And then at the end of the meeting, I'll ask them, like, oh, how'd you like it? Are you going to come back next week? Are we going to see you soon? Just different things like that. Okay.
So when they join, what begins first? What's the first thing when they come in and they register or whatever they do? What's first?
Well, the first thing you do is they have to attend a meeting.
Okay.
They got to make sure they attend a meeting, because we have to do a background on these young men and women to make sure, because they could potentially be a future law enforcement officers. So we do a background on them to make sure they got a good history with them. And we check their grades, because that's one of the things we monitor throughout their progress.
There you go. Okay.
So they cannot, if they're failing, we're going to push them to improve improve.
Right.
And we want, one of the things Lily shared is we also want them to be future leaders. We want them to be, that's our future mayors, our future generals, our future chief of police, our leaders in our communities. That's what we want to instill in these young men and women. Some of the things we're going to take out of them.
Right.
For example, I will not let them use the word yeah. They can't use the word yeah when they're communicating with me in my presence, or even with their friends in my presence, or any of the advisors. And we also monitor their grades throughout the course of the year. The first thing they're going to do is they're going to sit down on a meeting, and at the end of that meeting, they're going to tell me whether they want to commit to our program or not.
Okay.
And if they want to commit, then we bring them in and we start that background on them.
Okay. So do they stay in? So once they're in for the long haul?
They're in for the long haul until they're ready to resign from the post, or they age out. Like Lily, she's been with me since I started in 2012, and she's aging out. And as much as I'd love, if there's anybody I want, I tell these young men and women, brand new, this is the person I want them to be when they exit. Because she's, she's got, her schooling, she's got her career goals. She understands that this is what I got to focus on. She's also an Army reservist. She's all these things are falling into place for her because she took action. This is what she wants to do. And I feel that we've helped her, but this is who I want them to emulate. This young lady right here, because she impresses me when she communicates with the public. Right. She's the one I want speaking for us because she does a fantastic job in communicating and presenting the program. And it's helped her. When I first met her, this is not what you got from her. You got what? She's chubby. You couldn't get hardly 2 or 3 words out of her. She's real quiet and meek, and now she's open. She's more confident, and that's what we want. We want that confident to come forward. We want them to be positive and not ashamed, because you get young men and women that are kind of nervous. The first thing we do when we get them to a meeting is we stick them right up front and we make them introduce themselves. Right. That's their first introduction. Not only do we let them introduce themselves, but we also get these young men and women to say, we get our young men and women to ask that potential candidate questions. Okay. And that's nerve-wracking. It's not as easy as folks think, because adults struggle with that. Yes. So you put a teen in that, and it gives us advisors, as well as the Explorer managers, it gives them an idea of what they're working with. Exactly. And what do we need to help build this young man or this young lady. It also gives them an insight of what's happening within a police department. We stand very far off from them because we don't want to learn. We think, oh, that's trouble. But what better way to learn the trade? Right. You get direct contact. You're communicating with the law enforcement officer. You can ask that question, what is going on? And they're right there. They're right there, and they can help them answer, why do they do A? Why do they do B? Then they're able to get those answers, because there's a lot of confusion in that environment in total, because the community that you read a little piece of this, a little piece of that, they have no clue. They have no idea what took place. This is a way for them to learn at a very young age and start learning, why do they do the things? Why do they do A or B? And it helps them. And when they start learning the craft, then they get a general idea. But when they're in the program for 6 months, they're eligible to do what we call a ride-along. Oh, right along. Okay. So now all of a sudden we're gonna put these young men, all this training that they've done, and now they get to see what they do
in real
life, and it puts it all together for them. And like Lily here, she's gone to, oh my gosh,
I'm on 13 now.
13 ride-alongs.
I have a few left before I actually try to do it for real.
So it's it puts challenges in front of them. What the officers do with them is, for example, if Lily goes out, if they'll ask them questions, what would you do? Right. And no, they already have the answer, but they're going to push them to think outside the box. Well,
what not to do.
Because you got to have, you're enforcing the laws. Right. And it's not always an easy trade. It's, we can throw stones, but it's not an easy trade. And so now they get to understand why, okay, this guy, I know the speed limit was only 30, but can't we just give him a break? He's only doing 50. Until that run somebody over, and all of a sudden,
it becomes, no, you can't do that.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
So it gives them an idea, and it helps them understand. It makes them a better person. And these young men and women, they also, it's not the most favorable environment.
Very true.
And they're pressured by their peers every day, every day. And so we're having to teach these young men and women how to make the right choices and the right decisions. And like Lily here, she's she wouldn't have gotten to the level she is if she has not. And she has. I mean, we have them come in and we have them exit sometimes. I mean, it's not everybody's cup of tea.
True.
But if they're wanting to learn about how to communicate, how to speak better, how to project your voice, because they don't. You do this for a living. Most kids do this. Like Lily right here, she couldn't have done this. When she started 4 years ago, she'd have been.
Lily, I couldn't have either when I started this.
How many explorers do you have?
Right now, I think we're at 27 explorers.
Wow.
So, and that's not.
That's awesome.
It's a good, manageable group.
Right.
But not only that, the officers that come in and work with them, we have officers and detectives. There's 10 of us that work with them.
Okay.
And they mentor these guys. Oh. And I look at these as my kids.
Yes.
You can't help but adopt them. I mean, I scold them like I would my kids. And
right.
where are your grades and why can't you get your grades up like my kids? It's, they do exactly like any other teen would do. They make you happier than all get out, and then they disappoint you sometimes. But you have to find that happy medium and work with them because I'm not their parent, but I'm part of their life.
Right.
For at least 2.5 hours each week, and a lot of weekends. So and a lot of officers donate their time. Right. For this program. That's so good. It's been great for us.
Okay, now I have to ask the question. How much does it cost?
It is $25.50 a year.
That's a whole lot.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness! That's just heavy amount there.
And it doesn't go to the police department. It actually we're chartered through Learning for Life.
Okay.
And Learning for Life is Boy Scouts of America.
Yes,
And it goes to them. We bring these young men and women in, and like I said, we spend all the time with them. We're building them. We're building future leaders, and that's what we want. We want to see them lead the future because this is our future.
So when you all go, Lily, this is for you.
Okay.
When you go through the police explorers, and let's say you do want to be a police officer, you really do. So does this make it easier?
Yes, definitely way easier. The things that we learn in the police explorers will help you, of course, as being a police officer. For example, the ride-alongs. That's a huge thing because I've seen a lot of things happen in Killeen. I've been a part of a lot of different situations. Of course, I'm always safe. Thank you to the officers. And then front seat, if it's dangerous, they say stay in the car. We'll tell you when it's safe. I'm like,
wait, you got to stay in the car. See, that's not fair.
No, if it's a dangerous scene,
wait, let me tell you, me and Nine, we're both K cops. We did a ride along on prom night.
Oh no! Wow!
We lost our mind.
Oh my goodness!
It was a lose your mind situation.
It was cool. It was so cool.
But we didn't. But we never got to stay in the car.
No.
Okay, we stay in the car for dangerous situations, like if there's a weapon involved. And they're not sure if there's really a weapon involved. They say stay in the car. I'll come get you. Yeah. If it's a violent domestic where people are punching each other and weapons and they have knives and everything, we stay in the car. But if it's something simple like a traffic stop, the officer will say, okay, get out, but stay at a safe distance or stay behind me. So we do those different, we do everything safe. So, but
have you, when you on a ride along, because it happened to me, I don't know if it happened to Nine, but it happened to me. On your ride along, did you ever have to, someone stopped that you knew and knew you?
Oh my God!
Oh no! Thank goodness! No, that would have been so awkward.
Oh, that would have been so cool. I was the police.
That happened with me when I did a ride along. I got out, and this lady thought that it was what she thought. She thought that I was like K-cops, like cops on TV. She thought she was being recorded.
Oh man, shit, where's the camera?
For the show.
Yes,
She was ducking and diving. Looking
so
for
her
the
first
camera.
her first thing was, she says, "Listen, this can't be live, okay?" And I'm looking at her because
Like,
I'm
what?
confused. I'm confused. I'm like, "What is she talking about? Can't be live?" And I'm standing there like. And so I said, "Can I?" He said, "I said, what are you talking about?" She said, "You on the radio?" I know. She says, I said, no, I'm for real, okay, I'm for real. I belong to Citizen Police Academy, for real. But y'all ran into several people that I knew.
Crazy.
That is weird. I've seen a few people that I've known, but I've never like stopped. Were in the car when they were stopped or something like that.
that needs to happen to the explorers.
Yes.
You know why? But one thing it does is it puts you in another mode, because when you run to them and you know them and they're being stopped, you have to then become professional and remember that friendship and that professionalism are separate.
Absolutely.
And if you're young, it's kind of hard sometimes.
Definitely.
So that to me, it needs to happen before that.
I wonder how many times cops pull over.
I bet it happens.
No, okay. Also, Mr. Martinez.
Yes, sir.
What does happen if one of your explorers gets stopped?
Ooh, that's good.
Well,
What happens?
You know, because one of the things I want to make sure everybody knows is that
We are not real
they're
police
not
officers.
police officers.
Right.
They don't
But I
have-
mean, if they get stopped by
if
the
they get
police,
stopped,
yes.
for them,
Right.
it is their responsibility
Okay.
to notify me.
Yes.
Any type of contact with law enforcement anywhere.
Right.
And we've had this happen.
Okay.
And, you know, one of the things, it's their responsibility. If they don't, because we do monitor them.
Right.
Oh, they're gonna find
They're
out.
gonna find. They're gonna
gonna
call me
find
because
out.
there's a note on there. All their IDs.
yeah.
It says they notify Mr. Martinez. And
Right.
they'll call me, and then I'll be waiting for them to notify
Email.
me.
Right.
And if they don't, then we will sit down and come to Jesus Day, or we'll be having that conversation. It's because they are a reflection. These
Right.
young men and women are a reflection of what them officers do. And,
Yes.
and it's we have to make sure they're doing the right thing, that they're doing the positive things in the community. We're trying to make them positive leaders, but I also have to remember their teams.
Right. Yes.
And they're going to make errors that we made as juveniles, and I have to understand it, and I have to always keep the officers on one side. Say, look, they're still teenagers, and they're
yes.
going to make these errors, and this is it's not a program we want to boot you out immediately. It's a program we want you to grow.
Right.
So how do we grow from these situations? Are they going to make these errors? Absolutely. And I had one young man who had resigned from our program because he'd aged out, and I hadn't taken that flag off his ID, and he got pulled over, and and they called me. I was like, I didn't want me to do it, but we just want to make sure they're doing the right things out there in the community, and it's working.
And for anybody who's listening, we're talking about the Killeen Explorers, and we're talking about it because, like I said, at a city councilman, when he had a town hall meeting, first thing you heard is there's nothing in the city for the kids, and even at the police community forum that we recently had, same thing. Yeah, this lady, she has 3 kids and they're teenagers and there's nothing for her kids to do, and like I said, I stepped back on her side for her, because when people say those things and you quickly answer them, you need to stop and wait and look and go to their side to them and realize that's right, and we have to be there for them to realize that, wait a minute, hold up, I only know because I'm connected. But actuality, since if I'm not connected, I could say that. Because, I'm looking around, I can actually say there's nothing for the kids in Killeen. But since I'm connected to my community, I know that there is.
Yeah.
So, like I said, this is the first time, but I'm going to, every month, I'm going to do a group where to show parents that there are things in the community. First of all, that don't cost you $200-300.
Yep.
Because why I asked you how much it costs, because a lot of kids aren't in certain things because of the cost.
Right.
You know, so $25. Oh my gosh, they can lose that.
That's a year.
You know what I mean. Monthly you lose 20. You don't know what the heck happened to $25.
But there's some families that are, they're
right.
I'm not going to deny their child access to this program because they can't afford that $25. You know what? One of the things I want to make sure is that it is open.
Yes.
And if I got to help, I got to help. And then, believe it or not, I reached in my back pocket and I put it there and most of the advisors will do that because if the child has the heart and they want the drive and they're willing to do it, and they're willing to commit, then why would we not? And so we, don't. If you're out there and you have a child and says, man, if I had $25 to get them involved and let us worry about that side of the fence later on down the road.
Okay.
One of the things that I've not shared with the program is every hour they're in this program is a volunteer hour.
Oh, great.
So they always...
And ride-alongs are volunteer hours.
Every hour.
Okay.
And so they get a bunch of hours, and they're always meeting the presidential award. They always receive the presidential award for their volunteer hours.
That's good.
Because they do a lot of hours. They give to the community, and that's their way of paying back. And the department, what they do, how they support us, or the city, how do they support us? They provide the equipment. All the equipment we issue. The only thing I don't issue to these young men and women is boots. That's the only thing I do not.
Right.
No weapon?
We don't get weapons.
No weapons.
Okay.
No weapons.
I was hoping it was.
No weapons for them. And there's obviously rules, and we start holding them accountable at day one. And then we start looking at them to do that. We want them to commit first.
Yes.
And then we want them to understand that it's not. I get a lot of parents, they want their kids to be involved in the program. I get a lot of parents that come there.
Right.
But if the young men or women that come to these programs don't want to be involved, it's uphill battle. There's no sense of investing all the time. When I know moms screaming, we want them in, and the kids say, I don't want to be here, then don't commit to a program. That's why I push it on the kid, because I want them to understand that, look, you're committing. This is not a mom and dad program. This is your program. So even when I first started the program, I said, this is your program. It is whatever you want to make it. It is what you're going to make it. You're our leaders. You're the ones, as we start promoting up through the ranks. I mean, Lily went up from sergeant, lieutenant, and on to captain. She's the right role model for these young men and women coming up behind her. Right. And I hope that they understand that's what I'm looking for. I'm pretty sure that message is clear to the rest of the explorers. But, this is who I want them to emulate. That, she will always be, I always tell her I'm waiting for her to complete that circle. She's, what I hope is somebody enters this program, goes all the way into the academy, and then comes back to us as an advisor.
Okay.
That's the one loop I want. And she's right there. She's got that. She's,
no pressure.
No pressure. Because it's one of the things. When I first sat down with my boss, one of the things that she had told me during interviews is when they interview officers, tell them don't give up on hope. But one of the things they're going to ask, what have you done to become a police officer?
Correct.
And that's one of the questions they usually ask during the board. I got a criminal justice degree. Okay, I got one too. What else have you done? Well, I'm involved in the community. Okay, that's great. These young men and women, I'm involved in the community, and I've been an explorer for the last 4, 5, 6 years.
Right.
That's huge.
Yes, it is.
That makes a difference for them.
Right.
So they're familiar with what field they're about to enter. And it's not only the law enforcement, but I want these young men and women to do is enter any field more confident and have a little bit better equipment, as in communicating, as in projecting how they want to share who they are.
Right. That's
the problem. When you hear these young men and women speak in the community today, I hear that all the time from families. Oh, well, have you heard him? He's yapping you to death. I hear you. You know what I mean?
Right.
What presentation is that to you as an interviewer? And so I try to get these young men project themselves more professionally, project themselves as a person who really will do you a good job.
You know, I'll say parents are sometimes the worst decision makers.
What?
I'm gonna tell you where.
Where?
Such as, I'm gonna use you, Lily, because you're there. You're the young person. Lily's dad wants her to be an explorer,
Right.
but Lily wants to be in the Girl Scouts. And that's where her heart is, the Girl Scouts. But Dad said you're going to be an explorer. She's going to be the worst explorer ever because she's not doing what she wants.
Right.
So I say sometimes parents, we're the worst decision makers for our kids because we don't listen.
We don't listen.
We don't listen. We develop, I want my kid to be the best model, and that kid does not want to be a model. You're going to force them to be a model, and you're going to find out later that they're falling off their shoes, that they're not showing up late. They're showing up late. They're not doing it because you trying to make them live your dream. You know, so parents need to realize sometimes that you can be the worst decision maker when it comes to your child's dream.
Right.
Because we need to help our child's dream be fulfilled and not ours.
I remember telling my kids, don't waste your time on something you ain't good at. And I remember when my daughter wanted to play basketball, and she thought I was the cruelest mom in the world because I said, you are terrible at basketball. So you cannot play. But because her sister was playing basketball, her brother was playing basketball, she tall, she think that that's what she's supposed to do.
Yeah.
But once she got the truth.
Right.
Then she had time to actually find out the other things she liked and the other things she's good at, and went on to do great and really great things. So that's necessary.
Yeah. So parents.
What made you start being an explorer?
Well, my entire life I wanted to be a police officer, and my dad and my uncle are both clean police officers. So when they started the program back up in 2012, my dad he was an officer for about a year. Then he's been one for about 6 years now. He told me about it, and he was saying, oh, they have a police explorer program that I think would be great in, and you should try it out. And then he got Mr. Martinez's contact information, and boom, like that, within a month I was in.
Wow.
And then I've never looked back since. Been doing good things. The Explorers program has showed me so much about myself. I'm open, more open. I'm able to be confident in myself when I speak. I'm able to look someone in the eye and not look away and be shy. And of course, that helped with the military, me going into the military. I was gone for about 6 months, right? Last year I was gone for about 6 months doing military training, and it's nice because I'm actually on here at Fort Hood, West Fort Hood, so that's where my unit's at. So everything's close for me. I'm just gone 1 weekend out of the month, 2 weeks out the year. So it's real nice. We have 5 explorers that are in the military, different branches.
Oh, good.
2 Air Force, 1 Marine that just graduated, and then 1 Army. And then one's a volunteer firefighter for Ding Dong, Texas. We make fun of him all the time. if he pulls up, we're like, we saw him in their little volunteer firefighter truck at the veteran cemetery when we were laying wreaths. And we were like, hey, what's up, Ding Dong? we just call him different names and make fun of him for it. But of course, he's still family, and that's what he wants to do. I think he wants to be a marshal, so that's going to be good for him.
Well, now that his name is no longer radio, I guess he got no choice but to go up.